Alliance. He is the beast from Hollywood East, Michael the Hammer Mulligan.
Hey folks, Michael the Hammer Mulligan here. Today I'm with my boy, my buddy, Michael LOCO LOBO GRESH.
Hammer.
What's up, Michael?
What's up, my man?
You look younger than ever.
Trying. Smart guy.
Oh, well. So, alright. What are we going to talk about, Michael? Let's talk about March 17th at the Jungleplex.
Jungleplex, CFX.
In Napaga.
In Napaga. I'm excited.
Huge.
I'm excited for that, Napaga.
Now, folks, for all the other people out there, for all the other schools that are watching this, that have students that are training, get them in there, do a couple classes on Napaga, and get them into the competition. It's a great competition, you know, but I think key to this is to help them train for what they're there for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So watch the, you know, video, watch, you know, talk to Gary, get him in, he'll go over the rules and stuff, but really concentrate on, you know?
It's a great event, and it's like it's like the next step from the Naga tournaments, which are awesome. You know what I mean? The jiu-jitsu tournaments, no gi and gi, to the Napaga is that in-between step to mixed martial arts.
Correct.
All right, so there's no head contact in it, but there's body contact, there's leg kicks, there's takedowns, there's submissions.
No, leg kicks aren't worth anything.
No, leg kicks aren't worth anything, but like I said to the students that we work with is, you know, they still work. It gets people thinking. You can use them for feints. You know what I mean? Then to strike the body.
Slows them down too.
Yeah, it slows them down, and also you can use them for takedowns and whatever. We keep them in there, but most points are going to be for side kicks to the body, roundhouse kicks to the body, teeps to the body, huge points, and push punches to the body.
Right, and then when you take them down to the ground, you get points for the takedown. Right. And I think the mount was, I think, 4 or 5 points to get you. Once you get into mount, that was a great, you know.
It's a great stepping stone for mixed martial arts, and I think that's what Gary and Linda always had in mind, anyways. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
And the other thing is they're really putting the rules together to put together a real top-notch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament for there too, with the rules.
So who's the guy? Who was the guy?
I think his name is John Fain from I want to say Gracie Bar in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. I know a couple of the fighters that.
So he's going to be taking over the grappling part of this day.
Right, from what I understand.
Right. So we're going to have not only the Napaga, which is the MMA basically without the striking to the head.
Right.
And when you take the person to the ground, there's no striking on the ground. Then it's just submissive moves.
Right.
Unless they're under a certain age, then there's no submission moves. It's just position.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
The other thing is going to be gi and no gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or grappling, I'll say, because I know it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves, but do what you want.
Yeah, wrestlers do well in there. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a phenomenal event. You know what I mean? It's his third event, so it's just getting bigger and bigger, and hopefully we can get a few more schools involved.
Now, last time, how many people did you have from CCFA involved in that day?
I'm going to say we brought 5 or 6 kids. 5 or 6 kids, or should I say teenagers? Right. And we in the last 2 Napagas CCFA we won basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your son beat everybody in his division. And he beat the adults too. So we won in the I think it was 14 to 16. I'm not too sure about the ages on that.
14 to 17.
14 to 17.
14 to 17.
CCFA guys took, I think, the top 2. First and second.
Right, because it was Nick and Shane for first place.
So I mean, speaking on and just going into that, I mean, we got some really good fighters up and coming out of our school right now that are just on that cusp, that turning point of they're 16, they're 17, Let me tell you something, man. They're coming, and they're coming, and their
And
18th birthday,
and I
they're
interview
coming.
other schools too, and they also got
Absolutely.
coming. And this is the beautiful thing about this
Yep.
sport. It's all about the competition. And if it weren't for this sport, if it wasn't for the new Napaga, if it wasn't for these things that Gary and Linda are holding,
Yes.
we would have nowhere for them to train their skills before they got
Right.
to work their skills before they got to their amateur fights.
You'd have the jiu-jitsu tournaments that Kip and Joe Cuff put on, which are phenomenal
Exactly.
events.
Yep.
And I held their title for 2 years. Those guys are like very close friends of mine, and
Yep.
put on a great show and a great.
He held their title for reality fighting, is what he meant. Yeah, for the cage fighting.
Cage fighting.
And he won Naga.
So I mean, and I've done plenty of Naga tournaments, and they put on a great the Naga events.
Oh man, it just goes so fast.
Well, that's
It's like
something we could talk about. On the 28th, they're going to be there in Twin Rivers.
Now the 28th
At Naga.
of what? January.
No.
The 28th. I know. I wanted Shaney to do it. That would have been his third Naga this year.
He's
but
wrestling.
He's wrestling.
It's fine.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
So we got a lot of good events coming up, Hammer.
Yep. Another piece of the puzzle. So all right. So that's the day. The nighttime is going to be some serious fighters. I can't wait for this.
It's going to be awesome, man.
My favorite's going to be Banana.
Yeah, but
Only because he's been dying to get into this. Every time Banana, Giuliano Coutinho, he's just a great guy. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu who trains, teaches at CCFA. He used to teach before he was at CCFA. We drive down to the Cape to train with him at a school down there. He's been on the show. We're going to see him again before this fight happens. But finally, they got somebody. Where is he? Right up there. Jason Doloff is going to come down from Maine.
Who brings it? He's going to come the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Bananas had some fights, and people, every time he's gone to fight. Now, he did get injured once, I have to say.
Yeah.
But he's had 2 or 3 guys back out on him. They look on the thing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hey, man, don't worry about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Better worry about the striking.
Yeah.
Because he's a phenomenal striker. And he's going to show a lot of people. And we're not taking Jason for granted, and we're not taking anybody. In this game, you can't take anybody like they come, they step in that cage. We're not taking them for granted.
Sean Baker, my last interview, Sean Baker said the same thing. He said, "Listen, I was doing great in my amateur career. I was 2-0. I was cocky. I was the cock of the walk. I knew everything. I could beat anybody. I walked in. I didn't train for a guy. I took him too lightly, and he beat me. He doesn't believe that he should have lost that fight. I believe he should have lost that fight because it was the smartest thing, best thing that ever happened to him.
There's a reason for everything. But Banana's a very, very good striker too, and people are going to see it. He's also training, teaching, as me and him. I'm teaching jiu-jitsu up at Siyatong. Banana's teaching classes up at Siyatong. So he's getting that world-class striking between CCFA, Siyatong, working with Crew Mark, Big Johnny Johnson. He's Johnny Johnson's sparring partner. Jason Doloff. You better be ready, buddy. What's that?
What's
Johnny Johnson's fighting that night too.
The Hulk.
He's fighting Wade Therian.
Wade Therian.
Yeah.
Now Wade was.
Wade's an interesting guy.
Right. He's an interesting guy. He fought Artie Mullen, so I can't. Artie, I love you to death, but you can't gauge anybody on Artie Mullen. I mean, he beat him in seconds, but that's.
But Artie comes to fight.
He does. You got to give him props for getting in the ring, and
he's a man.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But that's not a judge in my eyes of how good he is.
Artie needs to train with me for 6 months. I said it, Artie. Come on down. Let's go.
Exactly. Now Wade was a champion kickboxer in his day. That's what he did. He was a champion kickboxer. So he's bringing that to the table.
Yeah, tough guy, man.
I trained with him a little bit. I trained with him for a day. I held pads for him, and I grappled with him a little bit. He ain't got much on the ground from my eyes that I saw that day. Now, what do I know, right? I'm not a great ground guy either, but he did have some good hands, and he did have some tricky kicks, is what I guess I'll call him. He's got some specialty kicks that he likes to use.
Yeah.
But I think Johnny's going to have the upper hand in that one.
Listen, man, any guy that breaks his ankle and tears his ligaments before the fight even goes on, and then goes and fights 2 rounds and knocks the guy out, you got to kill this kid.
Yeah, that's
so Wade.
That's
listen, I like your Wade. I've seen you fight. I think you're a great fighter. Boy, You got your work.
Is
cut
he
out
the
for you,
head
Monson.
instructor at Tom? He's the head
instructor.
Muay Thai instructor.
Well,
at
Crew Mark
City-
is. Mark is the owner and head instructor.
Right.
Johnny runs the MMA team, and I would consider him as one of the head instructors.
All
for
right,
sure.
good. So
I
there you
don't
go.
want to say that because Mark is actually the head instructor.
Mark's the owner, right? Mark delegates to Johnny to take care of certain
Right.
things. Johnny does that very well. Johnny's been at Tom for a long time. He finally decided that he was going to fight. We talked about it here on the show. Unfortunately, I left the fan on, so you couldn't hear nothing but whoop, 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 whoop.
Maybe we'll get him down here. Maybe we'll get him down here.
We'll get him down here again. We'll get him down here.
But I know, hey, they can't take these heavyweights for granted because one punch, 4-ounce gloves, hands are wrapped, one punch hammer could change the whole outcome of a fight.
Hey, look at Jason. Jason fought a lot of tough
Fought
guys.
Moorcraft, fought you,
Yep.
fought Foley.
Right? And he was never knocked out.
No, dude, you knocked him out.
Well, besides me.
But Jason's brings it. Wade Darian brings it. You got him on that card. You got John Johnson. You got Tyson Chartier fight, another one of my stablemates, teammates.
From
CEO Talk,
he's
Tyson.
like the manager kid there, Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson Chartier is
I
fighting.
look forward to seeing him. I've never seen him fight. in
Very
person.
good wrestler and a pretty good jiu-jitsu guy.
Is he good?
Yep, just got a. We just did.
What weight class is he, Mike?
Oh gosh, he's gonna be mad at me for saying this.
That's all right. I mean, he's
I'm
probably
gonna
gonna bounce
say
from where
he's
he is.
fought at all different weight classes. I'm gonna say 170,
Who's he fighting? Let's go that
155,
route. Who's he
170.
fighting?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know because he's another
What the
kid.
hell do you know?
Well, I'm going to tell you what
All
I
right,
know.
here we
I'll
go.
tell you right now, it's very hard to get a fight for Tyson Chartier because many guys back out of his fights. We've tried to get him, so many guys have backed out of fights with him. I don't know. I'm not afraid of him. I'll fight you, Tyson. Okay? But we're teammates. But the guys don't want to fight him.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. He's a tough
Is he
kid.
that good?
He's tough.
Is he good?
He's good. He's good on the ground. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's a great wrestler. He brings it. He's in great condition, and he's at a world-class striking gym. Putting it all together. Where's he weak?
You know, another thing I'll touch on right now, because we talk about records sometimes, but we don't put a lot of weight in the records, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you can have a guy that is got the worst record in MMA, but he has fought the toughest guys. There's guys that go, you know, they'll pick on they'll build their career, they'll pick on some lighter ones, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. You got to start off slow. You don't want to pick the best guy in MMA for your first fight.
Right.
But some people do. Some people headhunt and go after the biggest guys in MMA, so they got more losses than other guys, but that don't mean they're not good.
Jeff Nader?
Oh,
Jeff
my
Nader
God.
will fight anybody, anytime. Chip Pollard, fight anyone, anytime. A few other guys out there. Jerry Spiegel. I mean, there's other guys from other schools that will fight anybody. Sal Almeida.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got some great fights. I'll tell you, to touch base. On the 17th, we got the Napaga, we got Tyson Chartier fighting, you got Johnny Johnson fighting, you got Banana fighting, you got Rob Font. Rob Font is fighting Cesario de Souza, which is going to be a great fight. Let me tell you something.
Wait, Cesario de Souza, you were supposed to fight
we were going to fight, and I got,
yeah.
the brain problem.
Well,
whatever's happening. Yeah, well, whatever. Cesario's a great jiu-jitsu guy, very good guy.
Yep.
Going to be a good fight. Rob Font is a very dangerous opponent, and it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Nice.
So we got some, and there's a couple other guys to see us on fighting on that card, and I don't know. I know Eddie Saldana's making a comeback too, and I'm not sure if that's a reality, whatever. Then you got February 3rd. February 3rd, CES, Twin Rivers.
Now, I don't know if... I think this show is going to be out probably on February.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
a week from. Right. But so what?
Hey, we'll
so who's fighting there? Let's talk about that. That way we can...
Sal Almeida.
Yep.
Greg Rebello.
Yep.
Jeff Anderson. Who's the other one? Josh Diekman.
Oh, now who's he fighting?
Josh Hendricks.
Josh Hendricks, right?
Good
yeah,
fight.
yeah. Josh is good. Now
Rebello's fighting Stewart from the Bomb Squad. Going to be a really good fight.
Really? Huh?
Yeah. What's his name?
Is that the kid from New York?
Yeah,
Stewie.
Yeah,
remember? Oh my God!
Yeah,
we went to.
Good
he
wrestler.
fought at Memorial Hall a couple of times, And this kid brings like the whole New York Fire Department with him. So the whole place, like
Tough kid.
you couldn't hear the Plymouth guys over the New York guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really that full of people that this kid brings. He's a rock. He reminds me of
kid.
what's that kid? Shirk, the Sugar Shack, or the Muscle Shack?
Muscle Shack.
That's what he
Sean
reminds
Shirk,
me of. His body type. He looks so strong.
So that's going to be really good cards. And and there's a few other guys on that card that are.
No, that's at Twin Rivers, February
3rd.
Yeah.
Greg Rebel, I'll be cornering for that one. But
Nice.
that's going to be a real good fight. But like I said, the 17th is right around the corner. And we're looking forward to that March show right in our backyard, man.
Oh my God, we got so many people.
Good.
Now, so this is the thing. I think what they're going to do also, which is exciting for me because Shane's done so well at the Napaga events. So they have some stiff competition this year at the Napaga events. The more people that come, please just bring your students down. Get them ready for this event. Bring your students down. It's a great thing. They get a big discount on tickets if they want to stay for the night. They get discounts if they order online for if they order their what do you call it? The people that come to watch. I don't know. Observers. Fans. Yeah, they had another word for it.
Fanatics.
But they get a bigger discount if they get their tickets online. But if what's going to end up happening, I believe, is that the two top youths. I knew
you were going to say that.
The two youths that the first and second, the two last ones are going to fight the championship fight for Napaga in the ring between the amateur and the pro fights.
With pancration rules.
With pancration rules, but
Not
it'll
a
be their
cage
first
fight.
time in the cage.
It's not a cage fight, but they're going to be in the cage. And it's a great experience for these kids.
Yes, it is.
It's a great sport we're in, man. I love this sport. And you know what? One thing I wanted to touch on, and you see it all over the websites in the Northeast, is people bad-mouthing Gary and Linda on their shows. Hey, you know what, man?
Right.
They've always been respectful to me, always been respectful to my wife, always been respectful. When I fought for Gary, he said exactly what he was going to do. He did for me. Yeah. I've seen some really exciting fights for CFX. Man, I get tired of listening to the same old jerks talk about Gary, CFX, this and that. Hey, you know what? Has there been some mismatches? Let me tell you something, Mike. I've been in every one of these shows around this Northeast in the last 10 years, and I've seen mismatches on everybody's cards. Enough of the BS, dude.
You know, and half
people, man.
Half the thing with the mismatches isn't something that happened at the beginning either.
Yeah, someone could pull out.
Exactly, and then you're making phone calls trying to get somebody else in there to take the place because bottom line is that the fighters sell the tickets to their friends. They want to have their friends come and watch the fight. The friends want to watch the guys fight, and if this guy pulls out that's fighting him, he's got no one to fight. So sometimes they get somebody better, sometimes nobody's ever evenly, you can't make a perfect fight.
It happens every show.
Exactly.
It happens in the UFC. It happens in Strikeforce. It happens in all the local shows. Me and Mike were supposed to fight 8 weeks out, and a week before the fight, I get cut. I hurt my back. It happens all the time. So Joe Schmo has to come in. He might not be on the same caliber of that other fighter. Hey, you know what, man? There's still a fight going on. I get so it just like seems like there's certain people.
There's a lot of jealousy in the sport.
There's a lot of jealousy, but it just seems like there's certain people that seem to always. I hate to use the word pick on, but you know, badmouth CFX. Hey man, I've seen some phenomenal fights on there, dude.
When I fought for CFX, I never had a problem. They always treated me great. And if I ask out of all the events that happen around here, who is the best paying venue, it's going to be CFX.
Yeah. And you know what? To top it off, Linda's not bad to look at.
She's all right. She's all right.
Good looking girl.
Yeah.
No offense, Gary. But
I don't know how the hell he
I don't know.
You know, it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
But you know, I wanted to set that straight. This card's looking really good.
It does look good.
It's looking good, and we got a lot of action heading up here, man.
Yeah.
Right now, so.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's you know, it's a couple weeks off still. You know, there's going to be some changes, and it happens all the time. We talked to Mike Polvea. He's doing the one on the 28th. We'll be past that by the time this airs. But Mike puts on a great show.
Absolutely.
And he said the same thing. You know, I talked to him about it. And what he does is he prints his cards up the night before the fight, after the weigh-in, so that he can hand them to you when you walk in the door. Because up until the last minute's a fight, people come that aren't on weight. People come that don't have their blood work, so they constantly have to move them around. But you know what? Out of all the places out there, that's why they start with like 22 fights from the beginning, because they always have the theory, this is CFX, because they always have the fear that a lot of fights are going to drop, but they're so good at finding other people to fill in that they always end up with 20 fights anyways.
Hey, I'm not trying to, you know, I mean, I promote, if my fight is on any show, I promote that show.
Right.
I mean, I got a pretty good relationship with all these promoters. Okay, I'm just saying, it just seems like they get a bad, worse end of the stick when they have a show. People, they're haters. People get on there. It's like, and it's a cutthroat business, man.
It's the same people.
But you know, it's a great. This is looking to be a good card, and let's see where it goes, man. You know?
All right, people. It's in Plymouth. It's on March 17th, St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
And it's going to be a great day. The Napaga, again, to all you schools out there that are watching this, please think about getting your students over there, because we need the competition. I know awesome. I want my kid to get more training in before he gets into the cage, and that's what this is all about.
There's going to be, hopefully we'll get a lot of schools involved, so we're going to, and you know what, it's all about the kids.
And one more thing while I got Mikey here, we got to say this because I don't say it enough, is Jeanette, Mike's wife, loving wife, who deals with him. She goes to all these events and she puts up with him, but she also wraps the hands to all the fighters. So just a shout out to her for doing her part for this too. You know?
I mean, Jeanette is one of the best hand wrappers in the Northeast. Crew Mark Delagrati taught her. I can't tell you how many shows that we've been in the back with we've had fighters, and a fighter has come up to us. Hey, Loco Lobo, could your wife wrap my hands? My corner's running late, or I don't have a corner, and blah, 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 blah. And all we ask for, at the very least, is, do you have your own tape?
Right.
And you know what? I can't tell you how many different times that they didn't even have their own tape, and my wife has wrapped people's hands to make the show go smooth.
Right. Well, and plus, you know what? This is, you know, you're not going to go into baseball and borrow somebody's pinch hitter. But this sport is a little bit different from other ones. This sport, everybody is there. It is a sport. It's not a war. And one more thing before we go, we're running out of time, but I do want to say that we do talk about the fights and the fighters here, but any school that you go to out there, be it CCFA, South Shore Sport Fighting, the Pound, next, wherever you want to go, it isn't only about fighting. It's about fitness. It's about getting your kids in a place where they can learn and they can, you know, develop in a nice, you know, sound
atmosphere
area.
and have an outlet.
Exactly.
The martial arts, respect and discipline, integrity.
Yeah, it keeps them on the right path, and so probably I would say maybe 10% of the students that go to the School of Fighters or have the intention of fighting. The rest of them are there for fitness, for their body, and for their mind. It gives them a great outlet. Absolutely. It's a hobby.
Self-defense also.
Michael, thanks again for coming. Michael, Loco Lobo, GRESH. Michael the Hammer Mulligan, thanks for coming to another episode of Fireside.